that I would start recording these knit chatty videos again. Some of y'all might recognize me. I'm Rachel. My Instagram has changed actually. It's at Rach_Wood now. But I used to have a podcast like 4 years ago, and then life got crazy. I was going to grad school at the time, and then I moved after grad school and started working at a museum, and then COVID happened, and then now I moved again, and Joel and I now live in West Texas. So since moving here, I wasn't really into knitting that much. I mean, a little bit here and there, but not near as what I used to be. And then recently, I've been getting a lot more back into it. So, and I've been watching tons of podcasts, and I was like, you know what? I really want to start doing that again. If anybody is willing to watch. It's crazy now. I remember when I started I wanted to podcast like 4 years ago, and I was like, there is no way to break into this. I was like, there's so many podcasters out there. Nobody's gonna wanna watch my knit video. A lot of people had to talk me into it. And then I did it, and I really loved it. And then it just started to get a little stressful, just because of me. And I just had other things I needed to spend time on. So I just stopped. But it is like so much crazier now, the amount of people who are podcasting. I think that COVID really opened up a lot of people to, and the lockdown, especially like all around the world, like to knitting and crafting, and which is really exciting because like I love it so much. And I think it really can like bond people. So yeah. I just wanted to start just putting my videos back out there. I've got a couple of ideas of how to make this a little bit different, but I wanted to go ahead and record a monthly knit diary, just recording what I made during the last month, what I'm planning on making, and just kind of record it, if nothing else, just for me, just so I know the details. And it's just always nice to, even if I just connect with like 2 people. That's what happened the last time. I met the most gorgeous Kate, and me and her still talk all the time. So, and I met so many other people, Christina, and yeah, so it's just so much fun to connect with people. So I thought that I would just jump right in. So today is June 26th, 2022. I'll talk about a couple of things that I've kind of finished within the last month-ish, and then some whips that I have going on, and then some projects. So first FO is this is the Camisole number 3 by My Favorite Knitwear. It's knit in MadTosh. I think the colorway is Matcha Green Dragon or Matcha Dragon Tea or something like that. And the majority of the knit is out of her work sock, and then I did have to buy another skein, which I don't think that she dyes on work sock anymore. It was a sport weight, but it was more of like a sport DK weight, and then I purchased her sport to go ahead and finish out the rest of it. I had this skein for years and just loved the color, but I didn't know what to knit with it. And then I saw this pattern, and I was like, that's definitely what I want to knit with it. However, it took forever. I don't know what I was thinking, because of course brioche takes forever, and it's brioche knit flat for most of it. So here the armholes end way down here, so all of this is knitting flat in brioche. So of course it took a long time. I just wasn't thinking, I guess. One of the things that does bother me is the armholes. So I did talk to Casey Apple of Knitful is it just Knitful Podcast, I think? But she's from Arkansas. But anyway, so I did talk to her, and she said that she really liked the design, but there's no way that she would be comfortable with the armholes. And I tend to agree with her. Like, I wasn't paying so much attention when I picked out the pattern. I was paying more attention to the front, and I love this, like, the decreasing and the increasing and just the stitch pattern that she made in the brioche. I think it's very flattering. But the armholes are a little low for me. So I have left, like, the string. It's, you know, I left it really long so that I could stitch up the armhole a little bit if I wanted to. I'm wearing a bralette from Free People underneath, and it goes all the way down to here. I've worn this bralette as, like, an actual top before. So like, I'm comfortable right now. I'm just not sure if I like the way that it looks. If I were paying more attention, I might not have knit it. Or I wish I had been paying attention and joined in the round earlier. Oh well. Yeah, because there's no way to fix it now unless I rip all the way back, and that's not gonna happen. So we'll see how much wear I get out of it. I was really wanting to wear it at work. So work in an office. So I'm not sure that this would fly. I could wear it at work. I would just have to wear a actual camisole underneath it. Or a blazer over the top. So that might be more of the route that I go. But this is the first time that I'm wearing it because it is freaking hot in West Texas. Everyone else is like, oh, it's so warm, I can barely wear my knits. It's like 80. No, it's like 103, 105, 110 here every freaking day. And yeah, it's just way too damn hot. Like, I can't even believe that I'm still knitting, to be honest. Like, I don't know. I mean, I went through all of my stash and was like, I will only knit with the cotton and the linen that's in here because it's just too much. It's too much. I can get away with knitwear in the office because it is 105 degrees outside, so the air condition is cranked. So yeah, so I wear this stuff in the office, but as soon as I get outside, there is no freaking way I can wear it. So yeah, so I haven't not been really wearing my knitwear. Occasionally, but not that much. Anyway, the other FO I have is a little hat that looks like it's made for a child, but it's not. It's made for me. It is the Hirombe hat by Jared Flood, and this is I knitted in Cascade DK yarn. This is probably the 4th time I have knit this hat. It has yet to work out. I don't know, I mean, I know what my problem is. The first time I knit it according to pattern, everything, and it was huge. And I hated it, and so I knitted again in the same yarn that I had originally knitted in, and I took out a repeat, and it was way too small. I think I also went down a needle size, which I should not have done. But anyway, and then another time I think I started to knit it, and then I was just like, you know what, never mind, and I ripped it out. But this time I knit it, and I have not blocked it. I did take out a repeat, so I think you're supposed to repeat the chart 5 times, and I repeated it 4 times. My thinking behind that was I have a ribbed hat, 2x2 ribbed hat that I knit, that it's just a simple, like, no pattern necessary ribbed hat. And it is knit, I knit it with 2 fingering weights held together, and it's 100 stitches. And so the stitch count for this was close to 100 stitches. I cannot remember the exact stitch count. And I haven't washed it or blocked it yet. So I knit this. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen that Joel and I just went on a trip to the Pacific Northwest to go hiking and camping. And so I really like to take hats on those types of trips One, because they're very portable. So if we fly, or I know, and then also whenever we get there, like I know we're gonna be driving around a lot. So I don't want to bring like anything that's gonna take up a lot of room, especially if we're backpacking or trying to like at least pack everything in a backpack. Like there's not, Joel would get so mad at me if I was like, oh, I'm gonna bring 5 sweaters. He would be like, no, you're not. I like to bring hats for the compact reason, but then also if I finish it while we're there, I get to wear it. So hats are my go-to travel. I know that some people like socks. I did take socks with me on this, but it actually ended up not knitting anything on them. But yeah, so I always, especially for hiking, because I don't know about any of y'all, but whenever I'm hiking, if I'm wearing a hat, especially if it's a wool hat, it will stretch out over the day, or at least over the couple of days that we're hiking. So I have to constantly switch out my knit hats, and then once they start stretching, they don't stop. So I have to bring like 2 or 3 hats with me on our hiking trips so that I have enough to swap them around, so that by the time we're done hiking, I have actually been able to wear a hat the entire time. The next FO I have was, I made this very quickly right before we left to go on the trip. And I just, this yarn, I cannot remember the name of it. My mom got it for me. It is a cashmere, alpaca, and merino blend. So it is very soft, very warm. I just wanted a nice cowl to just slip on when we go hiking. It actually wasn't cold it wasn't, because we were hiking, like I didn't have to wear it while we were hiking, but I slept in this a lot because it was like 40 degrees and we were camping in a tent. And so at night, I when we go on trips like that, I am fully dressed when we go to sleep. And so so that's primarily what I use this for, but it is so nice. I used the pattern is loosely based off of a Spas Tricot pattern, their cowl. I just used it for the stitch count and the needle size, and then I just knit it. I mean, it's not fancy. It gets the job done. It's for hiking. That is the reason that I wanted to knit it. I do think that I will wear it here in Lubbock in the winter, because it does get freaking cold here too. So when I'm walking back and forth from the car, I'm sure I'll wear it. Next is, I have this sweater that I have had on the needles for about 2 years. It is the Brecken Ridge sweater. And I'll have to put the name of the designer below because I forgot. Hannah something. I can't remember. I cast this sweater on when Joel and I went to Denver in the middle of the pandemic. So Joel used to go to Denver quite a bit for work, and it was in the middle of the pandemic, so we had lockdown. So I wasn't working at the museum, so I just went with him. And I just remember sitting in the park in Denver knitting this sweater, and then I got back, I completely finished the body, and then I tried it on, and it was a lot more narrow than I thought I wanted it to be. And I was just like, I just don't think I'm gonna like the way that this fits. So I put it in a box with the other yarn, thought about unraveling it several times. I just didn't have a plan for the yarn once I unraveled it. So I was like, I'll just keep it knitted because all I have to do is knit the sleeves if I think that I'll wear it. So to get myself back into the knitting game, I thought, let me just go ahead and knit the sleeves. And if I don't like it, then I'll know for sure that I don't like it. And if I can't find somebody to give it to, then that'll be that. At least I finished it and I tried the full thing on. So I have these giant squares. The whole thing is knit in a linen stitch. Oh, it's knit out of Cascade fingering weight yarn. And so it took a long time. I knit the sleeves 2 at a time because I only had a finite amount of yarn, and I just knit until I used up the yarn. I didn't really measure like lengthwise. I think they are the length. The problem is I think they're the length in the pattern, even a little bit longer, I think. The problem is I have extremely long arms. So I almost always have to knit the arms longer than the pattern calls for. So I finished this right before we went to Seattle, and I really wanted to take it with me, but I knew I was gonna have to block it once I finished. And because when you seam things, like you have to block it so that it all lays correctly. And it doesn't like bunch up and stuff. So I knew like it wouldn't look good if I wore it without blocking it. So I was like, I'm not taking that to Seattle trying to sew it on the plane or sew it like in a hotel room and then have to just haul it around the entire time. So I have yet to seam it. I'm really lazy about seaming, but once I sit down and I actually start doing it, I actually really enjoy it. I just am lazy about the prep work that goes into like pinning everything flat and making sure everything's straight and then actually starting to sew. But once I start sewing, I really like it. I don't know. Another object that I just need to sew are these pants that some of y'all might remember. I'm pretty sure I cast these on when I still had a podcast and freaking forever ago, and just now finished them. This was another let's try to force ourselves to knit even if we don't think that we like it anymore, because I was having a lot of trouble because I didn't have anything cast on and I don't have a large yarn stash, which I personally really like that I don't have a large yarn stash. I don't want a store in my house. Like, half of me is hearing myself say that and thinking, you're an idiot, that sounds amazing. But then the other half is like, no, but then you'd have to store all that shit. So it's probably good that I don't have an entire store worth of yarn in my house. That might change. Anyway, so I didn't have like just projects like ready to go. And so what I was doing was I was trying to finish projects that I kind of already had on the needles to try to get myself back into knitting. And I mean, it's kind of worked, I guess. I don't really know what kicked me back in, but if anything specifically, but we're back. So this is the Not for Jogging Joggers. And this is just made out of acrylic red heart yarn because I really wanted it to be easy to clean in case I sat down and got my butt all dirty. But yeah, so as you can see, all I have to do is sew the butt together and the crotch and I'm done. I have to knit an I-cord and that's it. And they're very similar to the pants that I have on right now, which are from H&M, but they are knit. So I'm excited to have them. I really am interested to see what it feels like to wear knitted pants. Like I said, I probably won't be able to wear them anytime soon here in what is the hell of West Texas. It's actually very lovely to live here, but it's just insanely hot. So yeah, so those are finished objects / almost finished objects from June. So I have a couple of whips. This first whip was a product of me really wanting to just pull out my linen, pull out the cotton. Let's see what we can make that is summer appropriate for West Texas. This is the Argyle Tank from Pom Pom magazine. I'll have to put details down below. And I'm gonna do a little bit of modification to this. So I really wanted to be able, so I actually was inspired by Whistle and Thread on Instagram. Her Argyle Tank, she knit hers in a size that was like more fitted. And even in the magazine, It's a more of an oversized tank with a tie in the middle. And I don't tend to go for oversized things just in general. Occasionally, but most of the knits that I knit are gonna be the size, like I look at the bust for like 30 to 32. I'm a 31, 32 bust. So, yeah, I'm gonna knit something that's in that like size 1 range most of the time. Yeah, so I am knitting, this is the size 1. But so her tank top was like a fitted, more of like a fitted style. And I really liked that. The one thing is I want to wear this at work. And like I said, I work in an office, and I didn't think that I would want to wear the tie at work. I think that it just like made it a little bit more casual. So instead of knitting from the sides to make the tie in the front, I'm just gonna knit all the way across to the front, or to the other side, I mean. Yeah, so that's the modification I'm gonna make. I ran out of the gray. This is KnitPicks Lindy chain in, I'm pretty sure that this, the silver color, gray silver color is mist, and then this is just the black. It's a chainette linen yarn. It's leftovers from the Herrera top that I made in by Paula Pereira, and it was also in a Pom Pom magazine. And so it was just leftovers that I had, and I thought maybe I could make a whole tank out of it, and then I ran out of yarn. So that linen is on the way. It should be here soon because it shipped last week. So hopefully I'll get that done soon and I can wear it to work. I really have been trying to knit more things that I can wear at work. I mean, that's where I spend most of my time. So that's what I have been kind of trying to search through my knit stash and try to find. So that being said, this is another thing that I thought would be really cute to wear at work. This is the Friday top by Petite Knits. I saw this on, oh gosh, I can't remember her Instagram name. I'll put a picture if I can figure out how to do that. And I just thought it was so cute. And so I was like, that top would be perfect to be able to wear to work like every freaking day. So I'm making it out of comfy cotton fingering in from KnitPicks. This is in the ivory. And then I had some just like leftover acrylic mustard yarn from, I got like a kit. It was like a yarn bee kit from Hobby Lobby a while ago to be able to knit Joel a color work hat before we went to Alaska. And so I just have like some random like nice kind of, they all were like the same tone. So there was like this, and then like a nice forest green, and then there was like a nice ice blue. So yeah, so I'm just using that up. I'm hoping that I have enough of the cotton. What I should have done is freaking chilled on that Lindy chain and waited until I finished. If I needed more, then I could have ordered one order from KnitPicks instead of being a freaking fool and just ordering that in a hurry. But I have another skein of this, so we'll see. And normally I knit my stuff a lot more cropped. So normally I can get away with quite a bit less yardage than what the pattern normally calls for. But yeah, so this is where I'm at. I also opted not to do the folded rim solely because I knew I only had a limited amount of yarn. So yeah, so I'm just doing the raglan decreases right now. I mean increases, not decreases. So this is the front. I just think Petite knit. So this is the second petite knit pattern that I have knit. The other one was the terrazzo pullover, and I wear the crap out of that thing. I freaking love that sweater, or vest, whatever it is. I knit that out of some Icelandic wool that I got in Iceland, and it's in a nice white cream color. I'm sure there are like a million pictures on my Instagram because I freaking love that thing. Okay, so I get kind of annoyed when I go on Instagram or on podcasts and I see like everyone's knitting the exact same patterns, and a lot of them happen to be petite knit. But that being said, I understand why. Her constructions are genius. She knits like the most classic designs, or she designs the most classic designs. Her attention to detail is just, I mean, it's amazing. Like, you're knitting it and you don't even know, like, example, I was knitting this and I was just like, I was doing the short rows and I was like, is there a mistake in the pattern? I was like, that sounds wrong. And I was like, you know what? I'm a truster. I'm just gonna take it. Let's see what magic is worked. And it worked because she's a genius. You should just never question her patterns. They are amazing. Like I said, like I get annoyed because I want more inspiration. That's why I watch podcasts. It's for the inspiration. But I get it. And I know it's very hypocritical of me over here knitting a petite knit pattern and getting upset with everybody else, but it is what it is. Anyway, so that's all the projects that I'm working on knit-wise. I do have some embroidery, hand embroidery pattern things that I'm working on. I am about to start cross stitch. And then I have plans for some other knits. One of them I am like literally about to cast on today, but I can't tell you about it because I don't think that they will watch it. But it's a very special present for somebody, and if they watch it, I'm gonna be very sad that they found out about it before I get a chance to give it to them. But it will be in the next podcast because I will have given it to them by then. And then, let's see, I just really want to start knitting like kind of out there patterns, like for example, so this pom-pom, I was like, oh my god, every single pattern in here is stunning, and I cannot wait to freaking cast this on, but then at the same time I'm a little intimidated to cast it on because it just seems like a lot. It is the Leonora Cardigan from, I don't know if she pronounced it. She's from Argentina, I think, or Chile. Can't remember. Pope Vergara? I don't know if it's Pope or Poppy, but I am assuming because she's Spanish, or she speaks Spanish, it's Pope. Anyway, this cardigan, I saw it and I was like, I have to freaking have that. I mean, stunning. I started following her on Instagram. She's got some gorgeous designs. But, so I have my entire basket of all of my pink yarns, and I am about to cast on. I had originally cast it on already. Let's pull this out. This is a Surrey alpaca that I got in Alaska. I cannot remember the name of the knit store. I'll put it down below because I know I can find out where it was. It was in Anchorage, and it was like the day before we flew out, and I really wanted some yarn because we got engaged, and so I really wanted some yarn or something special. We hadn't bought anything in Alaska, and so Joel very sweetly, we went to the yarn store right before we flew out, and I bought this because it was hand dyed in Alaska. Did I just rip that? Oh, I did. Oops. Anyway, So I had originally, and I'll put details about this down below as well, if I can figure it out, because I don't know where the ball band is. So I originally cast on with this, but then, so the main color that I got this at a yarn store in Amarillo. That's probably, I think that's the closest yarn store, like, you know, like a boutique yarn store to me. Amarillo is like an hour away from Lubbock. And sometimes I get to go up there for work. So next time I'll probably stop back in there. I think it's called Firefly Fibers or something like, no, Papillon Fibers. That's what it's called. Anyway, so this is going to be the main color, and Sandusgarn Silk Mohair. So I'm thinking I want to do more of rose colors. Like, I have all of these minis from, this is from little Tayloress when she was still dyeing yarn. And so I have, and so is this. Ooh. So I think I would just want to do like more muted colors. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the edging in this. This is a Angora fiber from that I got as a present in a yarn swap. I did one of those like you know, like the great yarn swaps of the year or whatever, and you like signed up for them. I'm not sure if they still do them anymore. And you just got matched with random people from all around the world, and I got an amazing package. And so that's what this is from. And they don't sell this yarn anymore because of like, there's that big scandal with Angora like years ago. And now I think that you can get Angora ethically produced, but this maybe wasn't. I'm not sure, which is a little sad. So yeah, so I think I'm gonna recast on the edging and do it in this, and then these two will be like the main, and then I can do like more of like a rose pop everywhere instead of doing something bright. And then I've also got this. This is MadTosh in copper pink. I have knit like 3 or 4 things out of this, and it's gorgeous. So yeah, I'm excited to knit that. That's my next big project I think I'm gonna cast on. And then I only have about 3 sweaters quantities worth of yarn left. I can get creative and knit a few more, but that might not end up very well. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know I got creative. And I tried to knit the Devino Tank in, it's out of a pom-pom magazine as well. It's a striped tank top out of some leftover cotton that I had, and I knit it and I finished it actually this morning, and it only came to about right here. It's blocking right now and it's cotton, so it's like I can't move it. Otherwise, you know, I'd show it to you, but next time it will be shown. And if you follow me on Instagram, then you'll see some pictures, because I am trying to aggressively block that thing to get some more coverage out of it, because it was like if I moved at all, some under boob was popping out, and so I can't be having that. But yeah, so I also really, for this fall, I really want to knit some Junko Okamoto patterns. I have been wanting to knit some of her patterns for so long, and I just haven't done it. I really want to this summer. Like, there's like 5 patterns of hers that I really want to knit. The thing that concerns me about hers are the majority of them are one size, and they're already oversized, and I'm a tiny person. So I'm 5 foot, and so I can't be like hauling around, you know, a sweater with a bust circumference of like 44 inches. Like, I mean, it would swallow me. I just can't do that. So yeah, I don't know. I know you can fiddle with the gauge and stuff, but I'm not very good at that, and I'm scared. So we'll see. But yeah, so I don't know how often I'll post videos, but it's so nice to do this again. Like, it's so much fun to do this. I know why everybody is podcasting now, and I just really want to connect with people again. Like I said, it was so much fun to connect with people when I was podcasting last time. And all the details for everything will be down below. I don't think I'm gonna like go through and like type on the screen all of like the names of the patterns and stuff. I'll just list everything in order down below, so if you need details, then you can get them in the description box. Feel free to reach out, and yeah, I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and if you recognize me, please tell me if you're watching this, because I mean, I will be shocked. There's so many knitters out there in the world now, it's crazy. I feel like it's like a totally different community now. But anyway, so thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the